and this is now where we start our video journey of the island of Kauai. The first thing that you can observe is my hire car. It had all the modern features, power steering, central locking, air conditioning, and it's currently parked outside of my accommodation while staying in Kapa. Where I stayed was called the KK Bed and Bath, and you can see it in the background now. Although it looks primitive from the outside, inside it was very nice indeed, as you can see from this footage. It was very spacious, it had a TV, it had a microwave, it had a big double bed, it had a table and 2 chairs, it had a big ensuite bathroom, and this was all for the magic bargain price of $35 a night. Didn't I do well staying here? And just a short distance from my accommodation was Kapa Beach. And now I do a 180-degree turn and I zoom back in on the town of Kapa, which you can see in the distance. Kapa is an old plantation town, but today its main business is through tourism. Here's a scenic lookout I stopped at whilst going for a drive towards the north shoreline. This is what it's like to drive on the roads of Kauai as I head towards the northern shoreline. Here's my current location, close to Hanalei, at the Hanalei Valley Lookout. From this scenic lookout, you can see taro patches and grassland, backdropped against the magnificent mountains. Taro is a plant native to Hawaii, and its root yields what is called poi, which is used in a lot of Hawaiian cuisines. In the native Hawaiian language, Hanalei means Crescent Bay, and this bay is considered one of the most scenic of all in Hawaii. The northern shoreline of Kauai is lush and green due to the high rainfall this part of Kauai receives. This leads to stream-fed valleys being contained within these mountains, which you can see here. At the end of the northern shoreline road, you can go no further once you reach this beautiful key beach. The next morning I got up early and went back to Key Beach, because this is the start of the famous Kalalau Hiking Trail. This is one of the most famous hiking trails in Hawaii, if not the world. The trail is 11 miles long and runs along high sea cliffs and winds up and down across lush green valleys. It ends at the Kalalau Valley, hence the name. I'm now on the first 2 miles of the hike, and you can see the beautiful Na Pali coastline. The word Na Pali means simply the cliffs in native Hawaiian language. I am now showing you what it's like to walk along the Kalalau trail. It's a very narrow trail and you're surrounded by lush green vegetation. The trail itself is quite rocky and it goes up and down in elevation as it hugs the cliffs along the Na Pali coastline. It's very tiring because of the high humidity as well as the elevation changes. Since this is early in the morning, I didn't bump into anyone on my outward journey, but on my return journey I certainly met a lot of fellow hikers because the first 2 miles are very popular. I didn't do the full 11 miles because it would have meant doing a 22-mile round trip unless I was prepared to camp at the end of the trail. And since I was doing a boat tour in the afternoon, hence I only had time to do the first 4 miles and back again. And these were the beautiful sights I witnessed this morning. Just taking a rest and also to admire the breathtaking scenery. As you can see, at this point we've gained a lot of elevation as I look down on the sea below. And now we're heading to our first valley, the Na Pali Valley. This marks the end of the first 2 miles of the trail. And here's the sign to say I've arrived at the Na Pali Valley. There's the beach down below. The currents at Na Pali Beach are very dangerous, and to make you aware of this sign illustrates it by listing all the people who have sadly lost their lives here. Here is the stream that runs through the middle of the Na Pali Valley. There is a trail that runs from here for 2 miles inland. However, I could not find it since the vegetation was so lush and overgrown. Instead, I decided to explore the beach. The beach is currently deserted because don't forget to get here you have to hike the 2 miles across the trail, and this is still early in the morning. The waves look very inviting, but as you remember they are treacherous. I did spot one other person on the beach that morning, and there they are. I left the beach at this point to carry on the trail, but before I carried on I had to cross this stream. Looking back to Na Pali Beach further along the trail. This is what it's like now to hike along the next 2 mile section of the Kalalau trail. It's a lot more open and exposed and hence a lot more windy. You can see the Na Pali Valley covered in lush green vegetation. Here's a speedboat visiting the Na Pali coastline with tourists. The boat will probably stop soon. The people will then get out and snorkel, since the area is rich in marine life. As I look back to see how far I've travelled along the Na Pali coastline, and now I've reached the next valley along the trail. This is the Na Pali Valley. As you can see, the valley is extremely beautiful. This marked the point where I turned round along the Kalalau trail to go back to Key Beach, because if you remember from earlier, I said that I was doing a tour in the afternoon to see this coastline by boat. I'm now approaching Hanakapai Beach on my return journey back towards Key Beach, and as I look down on the beach I can see someone's clothes, which means that someone's actually gone and attempted to do swimming. They're very foolish. Luckily you can see them getting out the water there. I hope they didn't lose their life on this beach.